providing the support that heals. Together, we're building a stronger, more connected neighborhoods. The Truth Podcast Show is a space for healing, for inspiration, and for learning from each other. Whether it's overcoming personal struggles or finding the right resources, we're here to guide you in your journey. We believe that together we can rise above the challenges and make a difference. So join us each week on Mondays at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us on the Life Show Podcast Network on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn at 8 p.m. Central Time. As we share stories that connect us all. Because your story, your truth, can help someone else's heart. Catch you on Mondays. Peace out. What up, girl? It's your girl, Kasira LV. And yes, this is the Truth Podcast Show. Welcome back to another Monday. I hope everybody had a great Monday off. It was Memorial's weekend. It was my son's 22nd birthday. And then this past weekend, I just found out my producer's birthday was this past Saturday. So happy birthday, belated birthday. And just happy birthday to all my Mays. I want to tell you all too, because, I was telling you about months ago, and then also probably the last few shows, I did mention about going to my award ceremony from the We Care 2 agency with Kenya Brown, who was one of our inspirational women guests. And so I'm so humble, but I just want to tell you, I know I've been talking about it on my social media, but I am like so honored because what I do, you all, I don't do it. I said it before, I don't do it for fame. I don't do it for popularity. I don't do it to see if I can make coins. I actually do it because I love people. I actually do it because I learned for myself, and it helped me in my healing process, listening to other people's story, finding out these different resources and organizations that are out here trying to help, especially with mental illness, right? That's something that is be aware of. A lot of survivors from cancer or from domestic violence or just from not even just cancer, but an illness that they had to battle or deal with, and they were able to be healed. And he's talking about the journey. So I was super grateful because I have received a life achievement presidential award, and it was from President Biden. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm so Obama, but President Biden from 2024, you all, yay! So I just want to thank Ms. Kenya Brown again for recognizing the things that I do. Like I said, I do it from the heart. I do it because I love people. I do it because I want us to all to just succeed. I want to see unity. I always tell people I love teamwork, because teamwork makes the dream work. And I'm just super glad that I was able to even share this award with so many amazing women and men that are doing things in the community. And it's just a pleasure to just meet like-minded people. We don't always just do this, and this, I want to say, kind of like, well, in this world, you do have some people that portray that they want to do right by people, and then they don't. And then you have people that are genuinely here to help and to just show love and agape love. So I am super glad for that, you all. Very good experience. The luncheon is always a good time. This is the second time that I have went. So thank you again, Ms. Brown. And with that being said, I tell you all that God is so strategic, because our inspirational woman of the evening also was a recipient of the presidential award. And I met her. When I tell you that I'm so connected, like God always put with people that we end up being connected somehow, some way, by somebody. There I go again, just looking out on LinkedIn, and I ran across our inspirational woman of the evening, and the things that I saw that she was doing, it just sparked my interest. And I'm so glad that I reached out to her, and I have her on our show today. And we're going to go ahead and bring our inspirational woman of the evening, Chantel Branch. Hi, beautiful. I can't hear you right now. Let's see. Let's see.
Hello, 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 and how
Yeah,
are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you again for being on the show.
You are welcome. I'm excited to be here.
Yes,
And yes, congratulations on your Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. It is a big deal, and we should be making a big, 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 big deal about that.
yes. Thank you and congratulations. Well, yeah, that's what I told my son at the time I came home. I was full and stuff, had a good time, got home, showing my award, and he read up like, I didn't even read it at first. I read it, but it didn't click, like
Yeah.
this. Yeah, so that is great. So we're gonna jump right into it. And my favorite famous question that I like to always start off with is tell us who is Chantel.
So I am Chantel Branch, self-love specialist. I am the founder of My Fearless Future, and our mission is to inspire strength after abuse. And we do that through programs, we do that through training, as well as curated events and workshops for teens, youth, as well as college students. And we like to make sure that we create special events for executive women, women who women like yourself who like to serve others, women who are running companies or organizations, women who are just leaders in their own right, in their own community, whether even in their own families, right? Just being able to, I wanted to create a space just for women to just stop and pause, like they would when they go to the hair salon, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so that is the Self Love Parlor. It's happening this Saturday, actually at 2 p.m. out here in Bolingbrook, Illinois. So that is your official invitation. I think we already talked about this though. You got your invitation.
I'll be
Yeah, right, you
coming.
coming. You coming. So
I
that's to
will
your
wear my
audience
sundress.
official invitation. um and I am a thriver after abuse. I am a survivor. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a woman who has overcome difficulties from rejection, from emotional unawareness, mental unawareness. I am a woman after God's own heart, but I am a woman who literally just decided that. Today was the day that I was going to choose me, right? And I made a decision that changed my entire life, that it changed the direction of my life. It literally changed who I was, where I was going. It literally like made me pivot and shift. And so that is why My Fearless Future was created, because I wanted women to get to that decision quicker.
Yeah.
um for me it took years. um I mean, it took, or I say it took time for me to get to, I wouldn't say years, but initially just took time to get to um
Being fearless.
being fearless, right? It took time to get to being fearless, but it just took time, um maybe about a year, to realize, you know what, this year I'm making a decision, right? Like 2025, we got some things on our books, we got some things on our agendas, some things on our phones written down in our calendar books that we said we was gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's June
Yeah.
2nd, it's a whole June 2nd, and we said that this was gonna be our year, right? And I want to just share with all of y'all, like, it's the time to do what you say you're gonna do, to become the woman you said you're gonna become, to become the man that you said you wanted to be. And all it requires is one decision, right? And so, like you said, that one decision to be fearless. um so that is me, Chantel Branch. I am fearless, I am courageous, and I have the faith to do it. And it had to be the faith in me, to believe that I could live a life outside of what I was living.
And
Um,
fearless is kind of walking by faith.
oh yeah, because you're gonna have
Like,
to do it without knowing.
yeah.
Do it without knowing. That's faith. Faith
So
is literally doing it without knowing.
yeah, let me ask you. So, if you could tell us a little bit about your upbringing and your childhood, just to let us know, like, did you grow up in a two-parent household? Was it a single-parent household? Give us a little insight about your childhood.
Oh, okay, girl, you gonna start there. Okay.
Yes.
So I grew up with my mom and my brother. I went to private school. Then I went to public high school, which was like a dream. It was like, oh my God, I get to wear my own clothes. So I grew up on the west side of Chicago.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I had my grandmother, my aunts, my family were a big part of my life. And then when I went to high school, I did go and live with my father. So that was a new life. That was something that I've never experienced before. But it was exactly what I needed as a teenager.
And what was that?
um the truth. Because daddies kind of are just a matter of fact, this is what it is.
Yeah.
They're not gonna do no lot of fussing. Even if they fussing, it is nothing like your mother's. So you
It's not.
like, that's it. Oh, I can deal with
Yes.
that. I
Tell you
think I'm gonna
something.
push it to 1 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, sometimes even sternness and like almost like a calmness. Like my days have a calmness when he talked to me. When he
Yep.
did talk to me, and it was like, okay, you're not playing.
Yep.
My was a look, but it was something about that tone of voice for me. Now, I do want to go into what we talked about being a survivor, and I know I mentioned about your upbringing. So it's kind of like you had probably like a regular people would say in society it's like a normal upbringing, So what how did you even get into that situation? Was there some things you probably experienced growing up in your teenage years up to get in that situation?
That's a good question, girl. You got some good questions. Um I mean, just like every girl falls for a guy. He looks good. He has a nice body. Got a nice smile. Perhaps active, play sports. I mean, it doesn't necessarily show up right away unless you've really known the individual for a while. Like you've grown up with them, you learn a mannerism. You kind of know their patterns and behaviors, their family lifestyle. Like I didn't know any of those things. So for me, it was just the typical things that girls fall for, right? It was just those things. And no, I didn't grow up watching it or experiencing it. Um, but it was definitely something that happened. Like, and even when I knew girls who were in relationships, especially like as a teenager who was in those kind of relationships, I would be the friend like, girl, um, let's get out of this, girl. I mean, I think I could get my daddy car. You want me to try to come pick you up? I'm like this friend who is essentially helping other people or just at least talking to them like, oh no, or you know, because I just had this compassion for that, right? Um, and I just think for me, it was I would say that it was something that is something inside of me just attracted to the something inside of his spirit, right? Whatever that was, it was the creativity, the artsy, the music, right? The possibility of fame, right? Um
Mhm.
he's going in this direction. I want to be a celebrity hairstylist, so I'm going in this direction. Um I'm traveling, the United States. We didn't travel the world.
Yeah.
Um he's traveling the United States, and we both have these big dreams, these big visions, this big aspiration. So there was a lot of things that matched us. It was definitely chemistry between us. There was, the physical attraction. um
It's still a regular person too at the same time.
yeah, I mean, and then this person is my peer, so we have the same interests, we have the same likes, the same um music, the same interest.
It was still.
um so I believe a lot of it was that for me. And I think maybe I believe that even part of just like, as you say, how I grew up, the relationship with my mother played a part in why it was easy for me to attach to someone like that. Because I think that maybe his characteristics also were some of the same that my mother had. And so that was alignment for me. And we receive love from our parents the way that they give it to us, whether they are whatever kind of person they are, whether they are a person that is disciplined, that goes to work every day, but it could be a person that also has addiction, a person that has any kind of addiction, because it doesn't always have to be a barbiturate. It doesn't always have to be something that you're drinking, or you know what I mean, or you're taking, right? It could be a person, it could be people, it could be things, it could be going down to that casino. Right?
Yeah, people are certain things, like even sex,
Right. So it could be any of those things. And so I just believe for me that it was just that, perhaps that loneliness, that emptiness that I had in space from my mother, right? Because she had other attachments, other emotional things that she needed to attach to more, right? So I think that perhaps created a response and a need for me to want to attach to someone who's so into me, right?
Yeah.
They're so into me. He calls me all the time, right? He texts me all the time. And to me, that attention is good until it wasn't.
So what I want to ask you, so with your mom, was it a good relationship with your mom, or was it kind of up and down?
I think good is, when we say good, I don't think we have a definition of what a good relationship. Huh?
Was it healthy?
I don't know if we have a clear outline of healthy either, right? When it comes to our community, I don't know if we have a clear outline. I know that there are family cultures who have a clear outline, but that's that family culture, right? Yeah. That's that particular name,
And the reason why, because you said something when you was like, I think maybe I kind of gravitated him because maybe some things about my mom. And I was thinking about that because another thing you had said, like you didn't grow up seeing like abuse. And I would say the same thing. My mom was a single mom, she was a Sunday school teacher, always in church. So I never witnessed in my household abuse, right? And like you said, but I was that friend too. Like, girl, you can leave him. We could do this, you could do that. Until I got in a situation. That's why I tell people now, and that's why I say now, never say never. I understand.
I literally said never. I would never be that girl. Yes, I was. Yes, I was, with a cherry on top. A whole, yes, with sprinkles, everything. And I don't even know where that narrative came from, right? Because maybe it came from because we knew that it was wrong. Mm-hmm. We didn't grow up watching it. We heard that it was wrong.
But it was something about the person, because he was my best friend. We had things in common, at that time. Like you say, you never see the side. Yes, everything is always the good side. And, I think within the society too, that some people think this normally they saw this, so that they think this is normal. But I like the fact that what we have in common too is we didn't grow up in abuse, but we ended up in an abusive situation. And you're right, you end up having some type of deep connection and compassion for a person that's going through that type of situation. And I want to know, because you already came up with I think you had your organization, what, 2018 or?
Yes.
So before we even get deeper into that, I do want to ask you, how did you leave? How long? Wait, no. I want to say how long you leave. How long did you stay? And then tell us what happened when you left.
Okay, so I stayed for almost 3 years, and I left by being fearless, taking a leap of faith. Let's see. You want the long version or the short?
I mean, we do got about another little 25 minutes, so.
You're so silly. Okay, so it was the 4th of July. It was the best day and the worst day of my life. And for me, it was like I was out and my world was black and I couldn't see, I couldn't smell, I couldn't hear. Now, it was the 4th of July. And when I woke up, the sun was coming through the window. I probably woke up maybe about 7:30 in the morning. My baby was next to me. I fed the baby. The baby was good. I was getting ready for a client because I had a client that morning because she had to go to this Chicago picnic and do her thing in her sorority. And so I had to make sure her hair was fabulous. So I got out the bed, went to the bathroom, came back to the room to get dressed. And when I turned around, it was just lights out. And I remember just no longer smelling the barbecue, like the lighter fluid from the barbecue grill. I remember I couldn't see the sun anymore. The baby was awake, but she was small enough, like she didn't roll or anything. So she was just like, kicking her feet in the air. And I couldn't see her. I couldn't see anything. And it was dark and it was black. And it was like, I knew that it was over. And I just remember having one prayer. And I couldn't speak, I couldn't see, I couldn't smell, I couldn't hear, but I could, my soul was still there. And I just remember saying, God, please don't let me,
Yeah.
DE, fill it in, right? Please don't let me DE. Please don't let me DE. And it was in an instant, he answered my prayer. And just like that, like I woke up and I could see, I could hear, I could smell, and I could feel. And I could feel my body like being lifted up, like trying to be lifted up, like wake up, like shaking me. And like when I woke up, I knew what happened because I never went to sleep. Just because my world went black don't mean I wasn't asleep. I was conscious the whole time. So when I woke up, I ran to the bathroom, and I was like, blood shot eyes, like I'm like in shock, but I'm knowing that everything that I just went through, I was awake the whole time. Right. And I remember looking at myself, looking at the woman in my mirror, looking back at me, asking me, like, you gonna keep going through this? This is you back now. What you gonna do? Because there will be no next time. It was like the woman in my mirror was telling me, ain't gonna be another time. You can't go through this again. You can't spend another day. You got to go now. And it was like in that mirror moment, I'm like, all right, you right. I gotta go. And that was it. Fast forward to that was a Friday. Fast forward to Monday. I think that's July 7th or something. Go to the daycare, do Mondays as usual. And when I got my moment, I just packed up everything that I had already kind of packed up because I had attempted to escape before. So I still had some stuff like just looked like storage, but it really was like when I get up, if I ever get the courage, I'm gonna grab these bins and run.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to change it out because the baby clothes was too small, right? So I had to change it out. And I remember him coming back to the house because he always would circle a block 2 times, come in 2 times after he leave for work to see if anybody was sneaking through the back door. It was in the hood. Like, ain't nobody coming through that alley now with them rats. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But like it was just like it was that bizarre though. Like but it was normalized for me. Like I knew
Hmm.
he
Every
gonna
every
he gonna,
work.
he gonna come back 2 times. It's a pattern. It was a behavior, and you learn to do it. You learn to walk on eggshells. You learn to just be your best self, so that you could have a good day, so that the kids could have a good day, and it becomes more about making your partner happy and keeping the kids good, so then you could have a good day. And so from that day, like I said, when I got my moment, I was able to change out the clothes and go.
Did you already have a destination where you were gonna go, where you knew you would be safe, or?
Nope, I ain't know where I was going. I was on the west side. I remember sitting on Madison Avenue, Madison and Cicero. I just remember sitting there, and I just was crying. I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I knew I could not go back. I was like, if I gotta sleep on the side of the expressway, I'll do that. If I gotta, I'll do whatever, but I can't go back. And that was like my determination was always, I could never go back. I could never go back. Like that was my boundary. I didn't have that word boundary, but that was just like my rule. Like, you ain't going back. You gonna have to sleep in the police station. I don't care what you do. You not going back. Somebody gonna help you. But I didn't necessarily have to hope that somebody was gonna help me. I just knew that I couldn't go back. And so I didn't have no vision.
Was it known? Did people know that you were like you were in? You was at what? Was y'all both having it well, or he just was good at it and you was just going with it?
You become good at it. So I worked in a salon downtown Chicago. I didn't used to wear makeup, but I started wearing makeup because I had to cover my face. And then you can't just show up with your hair not done at work. Like you need to show up like you selling shampoo blow dries. Girl, come get you one of these silky presses. Girl, we got you today. You want a color too? Yeah, she just put a gloss on me last week. Like you working. You're a product. You need to show up well. So I started wearing red lipstick because my lips was just always in repair. And I started wearing foundation because I had to blend what was happening. So you become it. And so yes, that person is good at what they do with hiding it from everyone else. But you also play the role. You had it too.
You do had it too.
You had it too, right?
I got out of my relationship, and my best friend them used to say, "You glowing, you are glowing," and I'm like, "I'm glowing." I thought I'm doing the same smile, way back when I've been going through this situation. But now when I look back, I do see. Like sometimes we think we are covering it up, but people, your family, close people, they know. You can't really hide it. So
I think family knows if they're close enough to know.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be close enough to know. Like it got to be like it was like somebody I would see all the time, and she was like, and she would just always, and it was like the one person you never wanted to like know you, and they knew, and you was like,
and they don't play no games too. They don't play.
Don't tell nobody. Yeah, all right. But again, it was you played a role.
No, we become very good actresses.
Very good.
We're gonna take a quick commercial break back, and we'll be back. Hey world, make sure you tune in to The Truth Podcast Show on June 9th. We'll have our inspirational woman, Funchella Robinson, telling her amazing story and her transformation. So make sure you share and tune in June 9th. Help us help others. Your generosity makes a difference. This your girl, Kasaira Elvie from The Truth Podcast Show. Right now, we're collecting men, women, children, and baby clothing, new or gently used, shoes of all sizes, hygiene essentials, cleaning supplies, household items, and non-perishable food items. Donation deadline is June 8th. I will make exceptions. But if you want to know the drop-off location or pickup request, contact me at 708-250-5715. Yes, my community giveaway event will be June 14th from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the Crestview Village area and the Kankakee County area. If you want to know the exact address that you would like to attend, please contact me. See you then. Peace out. Discover the perfect opportunity to promote your business, organization, or event with the Truth Podcast Show. If you're interested in expanding your reach and gaining more attention, we'd love to hear from you. To learn more and explore collaboration possibilities, please reach out to us at 708-250-5715 or email truthpodcastshow@gmail.com. Don't miss out on this chance to elevate your brand and connect with our engaging audience. Help is here. This is your girl, Kasaira Elvie from the Truth Podcast Show. We have a couple of things that you can check out if you know someone or if you are self-harming yourself and you are looking to be set free. Here are some websites, organizations, helplines, and apps that can help you out. Talk to you later. All right, welcome back to the Truth Podcast Show. I'm your girl, Kasaira Elvie, and our inspirational woman of the evening is Chantel Branch. And so we were just talking a little bit about basically your escape. But one of the things about that you are specialist about is self-love. And before we get deep into that, I hear that you was a hairstylist. You made sure that you was glammed up. Now, most people would say when a person is glammed up, they living good, they feel good. Were you feeling like you were just living in darkness, suffering in silence?
Suffering in silence, but not living in darkness, because the salon was like my happy place. We were all junior stylists and assistants to the top stylists in the salon. So we were just excited to do prominent Black women's hair in the salon. Like, you know, we got to do we did, you know, the shampoos, the conditions, the treatments, the colors, the blow dries, you know, all those things. So, and it was a place of learning for us because we were so young. We all were learning, and it was like we all were in competition. Like, my hairstylist that I work for is better than yours. See, mine is this, and then mine is this. And then we all were trying to achieve to get to where they were. But gosh, we had so much growth to do, but it was fun. It was exciting. It was my plate. Like, I didn't even think about him there because I was number one busy. You know, when you serving people, you're like, you can't talk to nobody but the person in front of you. Yeah. So, and I worked at downtown Chicago. Like, even at lunchtime, it was exciting. We going shopping, we doing this. So it was like, it wasn't until I had to get on a train and go back to the West Side, because that was when maybe it got dim.
And they always talk about some self-care is self-love. But I want to get into that, but tell us a little bit about self-love. How did you learn? What did you do to even get to loving yourself better, to wanting to teach other women that they can also achieve the same happiness and self-love?
So I would say that my light bulb went off. It was an epiphany moment. Like it was like I woke up and it was like I had the same brain I had before I got in a relationship. Like, this is wrong. What are you doing? Get out of this. Like, no. And it was like, and I wasn't necessarily as strong as that girl was before she got in that relationship, but I did have enough strength to decide to leave and stay away. And so I'm sitting on Madison Avenue. I'm listening to the radio. The girls are at there, and I'm like, um, I don't know what to do. And so I drive around, and I end up in this grocery store parking lot, maybe like 20 minutes away. And I just remember it was already a gloomy day, and then the rain just started pouring, pouring, pouring. And it was summertime. Like I said, it was July 7th or 8th, July 7th or 8th. And it was 3 days later for sure. And the rain was just washing over my car because it's still, so I don't have like the wipers going. And it was so much rain, it was just like pouring over the windshield, and like you couldn't see out of the windshield. And I just felt like God was cleansing me. God was washing me, God was healing me, He was making me whole. And I just felt like and then so I'm crying, but I'm weeping. I'm like weeping because I know this is it, right? I know that whatever is next gotta be better than what is, right? And I also know that I cannot turn back. There's no way I can go back because it's no future.
Yeah.
Right. So that's evident. Um, and as I'm sitting there, I'm listening to the radio, probably WGCI at the time, 107.5. And it was a 800 number to a domestic violence. And it came on maybe like 3 or 4 times. And then like within that hour, right, that I first started hearing the message. And then it was just someone was like, just call the number. And I was like, I don't know about all 800. That's national. They try to fly me somewhere. I don't got like your man get to try to go, but I was so heavy with grief and pain and suffering. And I don't know if I was afraid anymore because it was just like I'm sitting in a grocery store parking lot. He has no idea where I am. We didn't have locations on phones. Thank the Lord Jesus.
Right, right.
So it's like I'm technically free. He could only find me if I wave a red flag and say I'm here. So I didn't necessarily have fear, but I was just maybe empty and just tired and just like I accept what's next. And so and then the commercial, of course, what God do? He just makes sure the commercial come right back on again. I write the number down. I had one of those BlackBerry phones with the little ball in the middle. I called the number and I was connected. I had to tell my story, which I didn't want to tell. They almost hung up on me. And I was like, wait, let me tell you the truth. And then they were like, oh my God, let's bring you in right now. And they gave me the address. I had a map in my car and I drove back to the city. I was like 20 minutes outside the city, drove back to the city, picked the girls up from the daycare, drove to that shelter, and I never, ever, well, I did look back, but I never left that shelter. I never went back. And I could still even say I never looked back. Of course, it was also, moments of him trying to, come get me back. And every time I was like, oh my God, I'm going home to a shelter. What is he, crazy?
Right.
What? Come back and live with you or go to the shelter? I'm going over to the shelter with them ladies.
Right.
And so your question was just like how, I don't remember exactly how you used it, but how I began a journey of self-love was being in that shelter. I had to go to one-on-one therapy. I had to go to group therapy. And then My oldest daughter had to go to like child therapy, but it was like she was like 3, so it was like it was great. She loved it. She loved her therapy sessions. I was like, oh my God, why am I here? This is so stupid. Um, but the group sessions was where I found most of a part of my healing, because the women who were bold enough to tell their stories,
Yeah, tell people.
and they helped me heal. I didn't say a word unless they called my name, made me read from the paper. I didn't say nothing. But what I realized was that a lot of the characteristics and the patterns and behaviors were the same, of the perpetrators, and that they were living the same life I was living. We were all different walks of life, all different walks, all different ages. And I mean, from let's just say 25 to 60, right? All different ages, just all going through it. And somehow we ended up in this shelter at the same time, and we became community. They looked out for me. They watched the kids, like if I had to take a shower because you couldn't leave them in a room by themselves, so you had to have somebody, and they just stuck by me. It was like, okay. And they was like, we know you got to go do your chores, so go ahead. We did ours already. We'll watch the girls. And I come back and they would be reading or putting a baby to sleep. And it was everything I needed. It was the therapy, the counseling, the community. It was like I was plugged in a shelter. I still, by the grace of God, got to keep my job. I just told them I moved with a friend in the suburbs because I didn't want them in my business. But honestly, if I would have told my boss, she would have helped me. I can't even imagine what she would have did, because she would have talked to all her clients and all of her friends, these prestigious Black women who are in these high positions, and they probably would have had. I probably would have been somewhere in a hotel, not and going to a therapist's office. You know what I mean? Like, just think about how much more better my experience could have been had I said one word. But I was quiet to everybody. I did not tell a soul.
Was it due to shame or
Shame, guilt. I'm singing in the choir. I'm at the church. I never told nobody. I didn't go to prayer. I didn't go ask for no prayer. Help me get out of this relationship with my boyfriend. I never said nothing. Nothing. When you say nothing, it is true. You get nothing. And I kept putting on a mask and covering up my face. I kept showing up, smiling, and saying, come on, Mrs. Potts, lay your head back down. How your daughter doing? All right. How your son doing? Okay. Yep. You getting color today? Okay. All right. You want me to fix you some tea? You want a little honey? And I showed up every day, and I put on a mask, and I went to work, because what do we do as mothers? We work. We take care of our kids. We do whatever we need to do to survive.
Yeah.
And so the biggest thing is, the reason My Fearless Future is created, the reason I'm the self-love specialist, is because I want women to move from denial to reality. And the faster you do that, the quicker you get healed.
Denial to reality.
Move from denial to reality and accept what it is, the truth about your relationship and your position and your activity and your role in that relationship.
Yeah.
And then make the one decision that's going to change the direction of your life and catapult you into your destiny.
Because the part of forgiving yourself, I think that's the biggest part too. Especially maybe both of us say, I would never, and then you did, like, end up in a situation but never. It's like, how? Because I remember somebody was like, oh, they was just stupid. No, I got a situation, and I remember I was reading something that said that's what they normally say, but we're not. We're not stupid, nor we. One of the things, you're the smartest and you're a survivor, because in that type of situation or environment, you, like you say, we're steady trying to survive and trying to fix it, because then if I fix it, it's gonna get better, you know. But no, and
that keeps a woman caught in a battered woman syndrome, and she stays there and she lives there, and it's normalized. And then her job is now she knows how to control herself so that her partner is happy. Now her job, let me control these kids so that her partner is happy, so that we all can have a good day. And just think about it. As a mom and a wife, and you're facilitating your house, that is a lot of stress. I am a mom and a wife of 4, and that's a lot of stress.
Don't forget about work.
Yeah, work. Yes. Add it all in, right? Mm-hmm. Now add DV on top of that. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, financial. You add DV on top of that, it's a wrap. You're going to do whatever you need to do just to survive through the day by day. And that's just become your norm. And so for me, I just wanted women to, number one, get healed quicker. Like, I feel like my healing came quick enough, but I also still had to spend years after that. Like, once I came to the decision, I make the choice, I start walking in it, and I had the support system around me. Now you gotta be consistent in that in order to become the best version of yourself. You gotta walk in that for a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, right? And you also, in a year's, the time really depends on your ability to be vulnerable. And it goes back to our mothers, our grandmothers. We stand in her shoes, we walk in her shoes. For me, you know, my pillar is my grandmother. We went, she went on to 93. I was her youngest granddaughter. I was the last grandchild she raised. And we went on to, she was born, I want to say she passed around like my 34th birthday or something like that. Right. So we had a good while together. I had so much wisdom, so much knowledge from her. Things that even she wanted to change, she made sure that she changed it with me. Right. And so I wanted to be sure that my children didn't grow up seeing that my daughters wasn't like, yep, that's what I should be getting into. Yeah. That kind of relationship. Right. But I also realized that just culturally, there's so many things support wise that are missing, that if we have it, we'd be better off. Yeah. Like the education for DV, assault, you know, those things, the education to train our sons and our daughters. Yeah. Because they do grow up. It's something happening, like we talked earlier, something happened in childhood that may not manifest until teenagehood or young adult, or until a relationship comes. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to create My Fearless Future so that we can be fearless, be courageous, be vulnerable, be transparent, so that we can transform ourselves, transform our family, transform our communities, and then transform the districts and the states and the nations and the world. These bills. Well, I want to thank you so much, Chantel. I want you to let us know, how can people find My Fearless Future? How can I get in contact with you? And for the record, I would love you to share, and then I'm going to actually make sure next week too we have it, so people can also be a part of just the unity. And when you say community, that's what I'm all about. That's what I love, because people helped me. Women help me. But yeah, tell us your information so people can get in contact with you. Okay, so you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can find me everywhere. But I am hosting this. Okay, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You can find me everywhere. I am hosting the Self-Love Parlor, and it is for women only. Sorry, fellas, but it is for women only, to stop and pause, to have that experience of coming into the salon and being able to stop and pause, you know, let your hair down, leave better than you came, you know, leave all that emotion, all of that baggage. And so that is going to be Saturday, September 7th. I dropped the link in the chat. and that is at 2 p.m. for women. You can use promo code, and I'm putting it in now.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. And if you use that promo code, you get $20 off VIP. And as well as that, so that is for executive women to stop and pause, for mothers, for wives, for women who just do it all for everybody else and not for yourself. We are doing art therapy, so it's going to be interactive, fun. Come sip some lemonade in the shade. We'll be doing some flower potting. So it's just your opportunity to come do something different or do something you enjoy. Maybe you come teach me, come flower enthusiasts and teach us. But it's just your place. It is for you. So I take my 25 years in the beauty industry, merge with my background in human services and counseling, and I create the Self-Love Parlor. As well as we're having a West Side Community Q that will be in Chicago on Saturday, June 14th. And it is a place for us to grill, heal, and thrive. So we'll be talking about victim compensation, people who have experienced crimes. It's a way to get up to $45,000 compensation, which is a reimbursement for perhaps lost wages, funeral costs, medical therapy, transportation to therapies, transportation to physical therapy because you were a victim of a crime, or perhaps your parent or your child. And so come on out, get the free resources. It's free. It's 100% free, Saturday, June 14th. And the best part about it is we're going to have a mental wellness bus. The mental wellness bus is we're going to be taking about 5 people per group. And we're going to be doing 15-minute check-ins with the licensed professional. So they know how to run this group in a 15-minute session, okay? But it's going to help us get acclimated to therapy, be able to get some resources so that you can get connected to a therapist. Maybe you are struggling mentally and emotionally. And simply that means if you're real mad and you can't get unangry, you can't stop being angry, come on out, right? Your kids making you mad, you still mad, come on out. If you feel extremely sad when the seasons change, if you feel extremely sad because it was just recently Mother's Day and you're still not feeling well, come on out. Get on the compassion van and get your emotional fix. It's just so important for us to plug into what we need. As you heard me say, I got plugged into so many things that I needed while I was living in that shelter. And it was what I needed because, and we'll talk about this on the next podcast, but literally a year later, I was engaged. And I have been married to my husband.
Oh yeah, we got to have a part 2 then.
15. I've been married to him for 15 years. So we're going to do that, right? We got to tell that story, right? But there was no way I was going to meet him and be mentally and emotionally wrecked and unhealed, and we still be married this long. You know what I mean? It was just no way. So we'll tell that story. We got more. There's a series. We'll be back.
Thank you. I didn't have to ask. Good God, I want to do it. Well, thank you so much again for telling your story. I thank you again for the things that you're doing in the community, and congratulations. And you heard it, y'all. She'll be back.
Yep.
I'm your girl, Kasaira LV. This is The Truth Podcast Show. We will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Help is here. This your girl, Kasaira Elvie from The Truth Podcast Show. We have a couple of things that you can check out if you know someone or if you are self-harming yourself and you are looking to be set free. Here are some websites, organizations, helplines, and apps that can help you out. Talk to you later.